Hey, Aries, how are you doing? How is April treating you so far? We're going to get into how it's treating you from my perspective, but how are you doing? There's a lot going on in the world right now, but there is something really special going on for you that I want to bring your attention to. This is Aries season. As you probably know, the sun is in Aries. Some of you are going to have a birthday this month. Now, whether you're a March Aries or an April Aries, this still applies to you. When the sun is in your sign, you are activated. The sun on your birthday specifically connects right to where the sun was the minute you came out your mama. And that is an activating energy. It's called your solar return in astrology, and it's like your personal new year. It is the time of times to set intentions, to say, where do I want to be my birthday 2021? What do I want my life to look like? And Spirit is using the phrase connect the dots, and they're saying write your own story. And I feel like they're saying that partially literally for some of you. Did you ever have to do an exercise in elementary school where the teacher was like, tell us the story of your life? I never know how Spirit's going to come in Aries. That's half the fun. And they're talking about the fact that if you were to write your life story and you were to connect the dots, what would you see? What would the equation like equals, here's my life purpose, here's my next step, here's my true goal. Okay? Spirit's already talking, so let's get right into your cards. Okay. Huh. Oh my gosh, passions upon passions. That's not surprising for an Aries. Huh. Okay. Wow. Okay. This is deep, Aries. This is deep. You have some good... This is... Okay. Oof. Okay. Sorry. Spirit's talking. What I first want to draw your attention to is the fact that you are... What Spirit is saying is you're very close to something. You're very close to something, and when they're saying that, it's like there's a point of no return. They're using the word Rubicon, which is not a word that I throw around in my vocabulary commonly. There's a turning point. And I don't think it'll surprise you that you are the point. You have 3 nines here. We have the 9 of Swords, we have the 9 of Cups, and we have the Hermit, which is the number 9 of the Major Arcana. And quick random tarot lesson, all of the lower numbers are connected to a Major Arcana card that is their higher version. And the Hermit is about self-reflection. And the 9s are regarding your independence, your individuality. And it's interesting that Spirit was talking before we got together about, like, what's the true goal? What would make me really, truly happy and satisfied? 9 of Cups, content and so proud, so fulfilled with what I have. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is just how I'm hearing it. A lot of us are being literally forced into isolation, right? That's a gimme. But this Hermit card, Spirit is saying you specifically, Aries, are being forced to really distill things down to what really matters. It's really interesting what they were saying about connect the dots, write your story, etc. Like, if I'm the protagonist in my story, in the story that I'm writing that is very literally, here's where I was born, here's what my family was like, here's what we went through, experienced, had, didn't have, etc. What is that setting me up for? And what is it setting me up to do? And in some cases, it can be setting us up for great things, and in some cases, fucking not. And in either case, getting conscious about what is underneath, what is really going on, is going to serve you very, 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 very well in April. Making the unconscious conscious. They're giving me a quote from Carl Jung now. And I'm going to paraphrase it, okay? Because I don't want to butcher it. Carl Jung was this famous psychologist who talked about archetypes and the unconscious and dreams and the meaning of such things. And he once said something to the effect of, if you do not make the unconscious conscious, It will rule your life and you will call it fate. Meaning, if we continue to operate in the same old way that we were maybe taught, or maybe we've just been doing up until this time and we never questioned whether it was like good or bad that we eat this way, work this way, live this way, relate this way, it's time to actually really take a solid look. The hermit, the high priestess, what's going on within me? That's part of what this whole forced into isolation is. And I do feel, and I'm going to pull another card. You guys live in the future, so you already know what the outcome is, but I want to pull something. What is this turning point? You're walking through a door, and when you walk through a door, Aries, you as a sign tend to close it behind you. You don't tend to like to leave things kind of up in the air. It's like I'm yes or no. And I feel like you're walking through a door, and I want to know what you're walking into. There's a big change coming, Spirit. There's a phoenix fire moment coming. What's on the other side? Wow, it dropped right out of the deck. Temperance, balance. This is pretty great to see. If what we have is, oh my God, sorry, I'm a little dyslexic and lenses are backwards. To see the Nine of Swords followed by the end, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm happy to see an end to this, but what? Like, what is it leading to? Balance, temperance, a feeling of being more connected to yourself. I'm hearing that some of you would really benefit from connecting with your body. Okay, sorry, Spirit's telling me something kind of funny. Asking yourself, quite literally asking your body, if you're sitting in prayer, or maybe if you're just laying in bed, you don't have to meditate, you don't have to pray, you can do it whatever way feels good to you. But maybe asking yourself, hey, body, I actually really want to hear what it is you need. Maybe some of you feel like you've been ignoring those needs a little bit. Like I'm hearing a little bit of overindulgence, and maybe some of you are feeling a little less in control than you were in the past, and that's completely understandable. So past, your card, here's the Emperor. This doesn't mean that this is over, Aries, but the fact that this is the past and the current energy is the Nine of Swords, I feel like some of you are questioning maybe your power. And I want to tell you that outside circumstances, which is literally where this Four of Pentacles is sitting, outside circumstances they're not a good barometer for how strong, how powerful, how good, how worthy you are, okay? The world is a fucked up place right now. The world is forcing a lot of people into various states of this. Oh my God, I've got to hold on to my money. Oh my God, is there even going to be enough? Oh my God, I better hoard everything that I have. So if you feel like resources in whichever ways are getting tight, my job is cutting hours, my job might be in trouble. That's a very real, we're contending with that right now. And for some of you, you may find indeed that this huge change, death is a natural thing, right? It's not the Tower, okay? I want to make a distinction here that this is not going to be like everything seems like it's going fine and then the rug is pulled out from under you. This is like almost like you see it coming. That's kind of what I'm hearing. And for some of you, that could be related. These are general readings, right, Aries? If we were reading one-on-one, this would be a much more specific message, but I'm getting a few things from Spirit because this is for every Aries sun, moon rising, Aries dominance, right? There is something that you are more passionate about, and Spirit is saying just plain gives you more life. This is forcing you to get real about what you really care about. Do I care about the size of the house I live in, or do I care about having the newer car or phone or computer or whatever? Or, and there's no wrong answer here, okay? This is all about you. This is all about you, again, kind of come back to those nines, as an individual. What makes me feel good? What makes me feel secure? The opposite of this. What makes me feel like I can totally face up to anything that's going on and I can handle it? We want to come back to a time where you felt like, yeah, I can handle it. And again, I want to validate, listen, Aries, as courageous a sign as you are, I wouldn't be surprised if every single sign gets some variation of the Nine of Swords in their reading this month. This is a collectively terrifying time. And I'm not putting it that way to sensationalize or to make anybody scared. I'm trying to do what these figures in the tarot do. Speak the truth. Look inside and speak the truth. People are dying. People are sick. People are losing their jobs. That doesn't mean, though, that people, especially you, don't have the potential to make tremendous progress on something that deeply excites and moves you. That's what Spirit is saying, moves you. Some of you may literally have had dreams of moving, and it's like, well, look, this has taught me that my job isn't holding me here. There's nothing else holding me here. Maybe I want to go. Maybe I'm going to start applying for things that have like nothing to do with where I am or what I'm currently doing. I want to be doing this. Swift change. Stay passionate, stay confident. That's what I'm hearing, okay? And again, that is not, I'm not trying to do the thing of put on a fucking happy face and pretend that everything is well, but I am telling you, keep your light on. You have a beautiful flame, Aries, and when you are passionate, when you are bright, when you are focused, which can be an issue, right? You're a good starter. Sometimes the finishing can be a little bit of an issue, and that's something you and the Knight of Wands have in common. Stick-to-itiveness. This is my goal, and I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to get distracted by a shiny object. That focus is coming back in. And that focus is coming in with a balance. I want to pick up and show you, I mean, you got wands, wands, wands. You got a lot of fire in this reading. This is what's going on within you. Two of Wands. You have one thing established. As you can see, this woman has something planted behind her. One of her wands is already in the earth, growing, doing its thing, but she has this other one in her hand. She has something that she could take somewhere, if you will. And I'm not going to push you, Aries. I'm just going to say that this feels exciting. And if you can take advantage of the circumstances and lean into that a little bit, I think you will see not just good results, but a virtuous cycle. Like, oh, I picked that thing back up that I love doing. It gave me more energy. It made me enjoy my day more. I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And then when you keep coming back to something that you're working on or working toward over and over and over, with diligence, and Spirit is saying with a formula, so discipline and structure and a schedule might be a huge deal, especially maybe if you find yourself with a lot of fucking free time on your hands. And it's like, well, what are the 3 things that are really important to me? Maybe it's my family, maybe it's my health and my passion project or whatever. And you're like, well, I'm going to block out these times to focus on cultivating each of these things. Because this is a great antidote to that Nine of Swords energy of I don't even know what to do. The Nine of Swords is called the Nightmare card because it's that feeling of my fear is almost paralyzing. And that's not in your nature, Aries, so don't overthink. Again, not in your nature, but we all have our moments, especially under the current circumstances. Again, I feel like I really have to repeat, it's fucking valid to feel scared. So I'm not trying to talk you out of that. I'm trying to talk you through it. Okay? And that's what you're going to be doing for yourself. Talking yourself through these things. Connecting the dots of what brought you here. I'm going to say something that I feel deeply on a spiritual level is true, which is our childhood, or you could say our whole past, is the obstacle course, the training ground for our spiritual purpose. And this is why Spirit is asking you to write your story. You're the protagonist. Right now, you're on the hero's journey, and a big part of the hero's journey is being fucking scared, being terrified, feeling like the walls are closing in is what Spirit just said. And then indeed, the death comes, the dark night of the soul. No wonder Spirit's talking about like Carl Jung, it's like Joseph Campbell, hero's journey, because they're talking about that. They're talking about you and your hero's journey. The transformation is going to come regardless. What are you going to become through the transformation? Because that is within your choice. Under these terrible, terrifying circumstances, what do I change into? And I feel, Aries, that you can do work to heal the world by just healing yourself. Some of you, I do feel, will go out and make an active effort to help heal others, and I think that's a beautiful thing, because they're telling me you're going to share this. But I also want to say that for those of you that maybe don't identify as like somebody who wants to go heal other people or heal the world, it's like what they referred to earlier about you have a light, and when your light is on, it's just by nature of being who you are, and you shine this light around you, that when you get close to somebody that maybe doesn't have their light on, or their light is a little dimmer, they don't understand, or they don't have as much compassion, or they don't have as much, maybe don't have, Spirit is saying, like, the experiences, the mental toughness because of what you've gone through. And when you get around that person and you shine your light, you encourage and help them in a very natural way to turn their light on, you know? And I want to say that, and then I'm saying this because Spirit is like coming in with like a balance to that, which is, listen, it's true that when some of us get around other people and we shine our light really bright, and other people can have the opposite response, and they can want to turn away. They can even try to smash your bulb or turn your light off. Don't let that be what comes out of this. Fuck that, right, Aries? You're the fucking rebel. You're the pioneer. Fuck that anyway. You're not going to do what anybody else wants you to do. You're not going to hoard your gifts or your light. You're going to share it around. You're on your hero's journey. You're going to be feeling very proud of yourself. I really feel that in April. A lot of you are going to be feeling this pride because you walk through that transformation and you're like, you know what? 20, 30, 40 years from now, when we look back and the history books are written about the time that the whole fucking world had to go into quarantine, I'm going to get to look back and say that I did this. I'm going to get to look back and say, whatever it is that you choose to do, however it is that you choose to share your gifts, whether you're bringing food to people who need it, whether you are making pep talk videos and putting them up for your friends, whatever it is that you might have to do where you can contribute your light and your passion, your gift to the world, that is something that is coming into, especially with your solar return. Spirit is saying it's like, it's all about what you have to give. It's all about the light that is within you and the way, the lens, the color, the shade of your particular light because of what the obstacle course, the training ground that you've been through, what has it given you? What can you reap from that? And then what can you sow? And now I want to come to a conspicuous card, Aries, that I haven't mentioned throughout this reading, which is your initial card, the center, the point. Two of Cups. Now, Aries, if you've been around for any amount of time, if you've heard me do many readings before, you might notice that I don't talk a lot about romance and love unless it's like Spirit is like hammering me over the head with it, because these are general readings and because ethically speaking, I know how fucking important love and romance is. And side note, I get really annoyed by seeing like titles of tarot videos that are like, they're coming back. And it's like every month they're coming back. What, like, where are they? Are they back yet? Like, but that's just me. That's tarot reader stuff. The point being, Aries, I've skirted around this because I don't want this to be a carrot that I'm dangling in front of you. But there is a beautiful budding partnership here. There is, and I say budding because the Two of Cups is the beginning. It's not the Ten of Cups. It's not the completion. It's not like the lifelong commitment or whatever, but it is the like, hey, hi. It is that I'd like to share something with you. I like what you have. You like what I have. Let's trade. And I think it's important to note that that Two of Cups is in your present, and then that Temperance card of, again, two cups that are going back and forth, back and forth. For a lot of you, a partnership, and this could be romantic, this could also be, I am to be honest, I'm getting quite like a romantic vibe from looking at this, but that will not be the case for everybody. For some of you, it's like, oh, I'm in an established relationship, or I'm single and happy about it, and that's totally fine. Don't worry about it. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's for some other Aries. So for some of you, it could be, I just started working with a really great counselor. I just started working with a really great creative partner, and the things we're coming up with together are making me feel incredible and re-enlivened. So one way or another, there's somebody that you are exchanging emotional, it's not purely work. You know what I'm saying? So even if this is somebody that you work with, it's like there's satisfaction that comes from this. Pursue your passion because it will heal you. It's part of your hero's journey. Accept the transformation, and to the extent that you can, Aries, brave sign that you are, take this changing atmosphere, take this changing environment, and use that. Make it yours. Make it work. Choose the transformation. Choose to walk through the big, scary death door of closing it on the other side and finding the new you, Phoenix fire, having walked through that. Walking through the fire of your fear is going to show you who you are. It is not going to burn you up, but it's going to burn some bullshit away. It's true. It is true. And it's a scary process. Nobody have you ever heard the term ego death? That's what Spirit is talking about it. That's what Carl Jung was talking about when he said if you choose not to make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. I'm just not good with money. Bad things just happen to me. Love just doesn't happen, blah, blah, blah. Whatever your preconceived notions are, those are part of what, like, if you decide to put those through the fire rather than have them repeatedly tested by life, that's why the Hermit and the High Priestess have such a calm energy. It's not because they don't have the same demons or worries or fears that everybody else has. It's that they're going down in the basement and being like, what's that fucking funny noise? I'm not going to stay up here and put the covers over my head and be like, oh, the house is making a scary noise. Somebody might be down. I'm going to go fucking look. Who's down here? Oh, it's nobody. The radiator's fucking dripping or whatever. Fixed. Now I can go back upstairs and be in peace. You feel me? You feel me? I'm mixing my metaphors here. It's a specialty. It's a delicacy. I hope you enjoyed it, Aries. I really hope that this is helpful, Aries. How are you doing? Whew. If you need to get out some cathartic questions, comments, rants, vents, whatever, let me know. I'm here for you. I appreciate you being here. I also really appreciate any comments you leave, likes, subscribes, all that stuff really helps the channel grow and helps YouTube see like, hey, maybe I should show this to some other people. So I'd appreciate that. Thank you again, Aries. I'm wishing you a lot of love, health, energy. Continue to be the light. And if I don't see you in a reading before then I will see you in May. Bye, Aries.